So it's pretty cold today, and I'm going to continue with this platform. It's a Monday morning. We've got all of our stuff piling up here, and everything needs to go in the truck, so everything needs to find a space. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but we've decided to actually sell the bike, which is quite sad. Yeah, it needs to happen. We need some extra storage space. As we saw now with the last sponsorship of cooking oil, that's 200 liters of oil, and that would amount to around about 4.5 grand's worth of diesel, and the weight's just going to be too much if we ever needed to carry extra oil. The plus point is we'll get fit with 2 bicycles. Landy's brother blessed us with one of these winches. That's going on the back to lift the rack. I'm going to start with that rack today. I hope to cut the steel. Okay, Hardy does. Cutting this piece of cladding out. Obviously we'll replace friends and family up there, because that's solid floor at the bottom here. It's still a big nice chunky piece of iron, and then bolt one beam of that channel onto there, and then start making my measurements as I go up. I've got my plans ready from Paul from Umdwebu Projects. I also got the steel ready, and it was going to have this big plate on the back that would have carried the motorcycle. Goes along with these plates. So I've got some of this leftover mesh. I'm going to use that instead. So yesterday went quite well with the rack at the back, and then Yolandi did a very good job with the interior crawl through space cover here. So that's the battery cover, but it will also allow her to put her knees down to crawl through that door. What I'm going to continue with today is the rack. I'm getting really excited for it. I've got it laid out here like it's supposed to be. Paul has put these in for us, because this was kind of a wasted space. Because the lift's got to come down all the way to the ground, we've got to have this angle sticking over the truck. We can hook a hammock, or we can do the washing line. Hannes and Alex has just arrived. I think they are putting in the final day here. I do have to use the pencil grinder on some of the holes we made for the bolts. Usually you would drill a 22mm hole and use a 20mm bolt. That's kind of the standard in I think engineering. But I opted to go actually for a 22mm hole with a 22mm bolt, just to make sure that nothing moves around. Oh, and another thing I've got to do is, unfortunately, start sketching around about there, so I'm going to have to put in a little spacer plate. It's only got to be like 2mm thick on both sides. This plate, I'm not going to use it. It's a very nice piece of plate, but it is the ideal thickness to actually make those spacer plates for the rack. I was going to tack weld the top beam to the side beams and then get the measurements for what the inside rack needs to be, the one that's dropping down to the ground. Came up with a much easier and better idea. Is the bolts are already mounted to the floor, including the spacer plates. It's already at the correct size at the bottom. So I'm just going to measure that and then adjust the rope at the top to get the same. Once I got that dimension, I can actually build the interior or the inside rack. I'll build that interior rack, put it down, and then mount the outside rack onto the floor of the truck, and that'll basically clamp the interior rack into the slides. Something you get really hurtful about is load shedding. Power's off again for a couple of hours. I can't cut, can't weld, can't grind, can't spray. Yeah, I'll see if I can find something that can keep me busy. Today we're gonna start with the wallpaper. Yolandi ordered some very nice wallpaper for the bathroom. She felt there was something missing on the interior design there. But this came and it looks absolutely great. It was a bit pricey, but we think it's really gonna finish off the house nicely. We got some wallpaper adhesive. It's the first time we're working with this, so give it our best try. Our friend Paulus has come over today to do some finishings in the house. So he's just cutting some vent holes now. How's it, Paulus? Just gonna finish off some of these quarter rounds that he installed last time on the inside of the bathroom. He's very good at the finishing and the detailing. When we get this wallpaper done, I'll get back on the rack. I started the day off with load shedding. We used the time to get the bike ready to sell it. We were loving it, but yeah, we need extra storage on the rack. All of that is extra oil. So the tanks are already full. That's about 270 liters of oil, which translates to 270 kgs of oil. That'll basically replace the bike's weight on the rack. When we went to the Unibos festival, we found out that the two gazebos didn't actually fit in the garage space. The storage space at the back was full with crates, stem cell donor kits, our market stock, the sewing machines that Yolandi needs to do the products. So yeah, we definitely need to put the gazebos on the back on the rack. The truck has got to go through the weighbridge, through an inspection, then a roadworthy test, re-registration as a rebuild or a self-propelled caravan. I'm not too sure how that works yet. I figure it's going to be around 10 or 15 grand at least. So hopefully the little bike will get us there. We managed to figure out the setup on the rack. Space for our oil storage at the one side, and we've got our spare wheel mounted on the other side there to make sure that the weight distribution is okay. The gazebos clear the roof rack. The crates will bolt to the grid. While I'm busy doing that, Yolandi is taking apart our scissor steps. We didn't really like these and they didn't work for us. So we decided on a different type of step. We're just going to use some of the parts on that. That's going to hook underneath. So there's no power. I've got the rack at the back here. What I'm going to keep myself busy with is a couple of months ago, a good market friend of ours, Clint, you guys know him from one of the previous videos, he gave me a solar panel. He made us this braai. If you don't know what a braai is, it's a barbecue basically, and also a fire pit. So it's an old gas bottle that opens up. Yeah, I've just got to clean off the paint, and then this is going to mount on the rack. Load shedding is really frustrating at the moment. The power goes off at least 3 times a day. So I try and squeeze in between jobs. How's it, Sam? And the rack is looking good. Yeah, all it needs is a coat of paint. Spoke to Paul from Umdwebu last night. He's given us great suggestions how to reinvent our steps. The scissor steps, yeah, we'll rather mount the steps on the back of the rack. Right, so it's Friday today. On Sunday, we have our very last event in Nelspruit. So we're trying to get the truck finished and ready for the stem cell recruitment drive. That'll be our second drive. All we're going to do now is I'm going to flap it down the arms that sit next to the truck. Yolandi is going to prep for spraying. As soon as we have it sprayed, set up the whole rack on the back, and then take the main beam at the top. Make sure everything works, and then give it a final weld, and then just touch up the corners with paint. It's the morning just before our last event in Nelspruit. Yolandi sprayed all of the rack's components yesterday, and we are going to mount it this morning at 7 o'clock. We've got some guys coming to help us pick it up. Yeah, hopefully we can get all of this done today so that we are ready for tomorrow. Fits. We tightened all the bolts. Let's lift the big beam up and then tack weld it at the top. Make sure that everything is straight 90 degrees. And then we've got the light brackets that also acts as a gusset to make the corners nice and strong.
You're going to have to...
Is you alright, Robin?
Is he full?
Ja.
Oh no, man.
Ik vat de maand om gezond te worden.
I think somebody's got to go with for the maiden voyage.
Ja,
We got to weight test it. So we start with featherweight. That was the challenging one. Huh?
Yeah, we good?
Kom eens. Huh?
Yes, moet net nie hierding val op die kop.
Waar? Kom papi.
Attack called us jogging now. Open baby.
Iets klinkt op het krook.
Wat je bent.
Hannes from Off Grid Pros just arrived. I'm very happy about that. He brought along some goodies, given us a submersible pump. If we're ever at some place where we don't have access to an actual tap where we can plug in our hose pipe, we can use the submersible pump in a stream or a river and then pump the water straight into the tank. That'll go through this little mesh filter in there, so if it picks up a bit of grass or sand or whatever, the mesh filter will stop that. While Hannes is busy working on the pump there, I'm going to be welding the last corners on the rack, and Yolandi is busy putting the steps together.
Hey.
Much better.
He's hard for shit.
Ja, ja, ja.
So Hannes has done a really good job over here. He's got our filter in. All we've got to do is plug in our hose pipe over there, open up the valves, water goes through the filter and into the freshwater tank. That's the grey water pump, smaller pump that we're going to be using to hose down the truck as well as flush the toilet. Right, so we had our last recruitment event in Nelspruit, that's our hometown, 2 days ago, and we managed to sign up a couple of donors and say goodbye to all of our market community and friends. They made it a very memorable occasion. They are definitely going to be missed. We took our first shower last night and it was absolutely awesome. It basically completes the inside of the home. Johan is coming over just now to just connect our rear lights so that we can take it through vehicle testing. Yolandi and I stacked this garage space to see if everything's going to fit in. 12 days to go before we've got to hit the road. These leaf springs at the moment are maxed out. We're just going to see if that is due to tensioning, as the tires still look to be pretty good with the weight on the back. I don't think I've reached the maximum capacity. So we put the bike through the test and everything went very well. She cleared with flying colours. I got a call from Lisa from Skukuza and she would like to buy the bike. I'm going to drive through to Skukuza now. It's actually quite a nice day out, and then hopefully she'll take it and we can pay for the things we need, such as the leaf spring tensioning. It turned out very cool. The lady that phoned to purchase the bike is actually stationed in the Kruger National Park. So we've just gone in, we hope to see some elephants and wildlife on our way to deliver the bike. was quite a good day yesterday. Unexpectedly went through the Kruger to deliver the bike. I got a call from Lowveld Spring Suppliers in Barberton, and they want us there first thing Monday morning to have a look at the leaf springs. Those pipes connected up to the grey water tank and the 12-volt pump. We can easily spray down the truck with that. Later on today we're going to drive through to Barberton. They're going to do the leaf springs for Betsy for the trip, as that's a concern at the moment. We did find out more on the process on actually re-registering Betsy on the road. Spent some time with Fawn and Leon from Predictor, and they gave us their insight on what we need to do. For the springs that we're going to do tomorrow, we've got to be in Barberton at 7 o'clock in the morning. They want to start up first thing. So we're rather going to drive through today, it's Sunday, and spend the night there at one of the campgrounds. Nice and early in the morning, and we've had our very first camping session with the truck. We're in Barberton at the moment, a really nice spot with really good hosts. The owners of the grounds let us park on their front yard because the campground was a bit tight. The owners were so nice, they actually just let us stay for free, which is fantastic. The place is called Bushwhacked Under the Stars. Just getting ready to go through to Lowveld Spring Suppliers. Tico here is going to start jacking up the truck there, and myself and Yolandi will take this toolbox off so that they can work in there. They've dropped the jack down so that the diff lowers, as well as the suspension.
Deixa os premium.
Of leaf spring blades out, they're going to add an extra blade to that set there. Sees we're putting in the new blade there. Right, the first pack of springs are going back in. Home pretty late last night from Barberton. The springs were done and she drives great. Looks a lot better as well, so not too stressed about that anymore. One thing we noticed driving at night was those top lights worked fantastic, but these bottom lights were terrible. We did get some very promising news from our one sponsor, Productor. They're going to try and help us out to get us through the process of actually putting the truck through all of the tests that it needs to go and getting the paperwork ready so that we can hit the road. I've also got to do a professional driver's permit renewal so that when we hit the road we don't have any legal issues. The last big thing that I want to check out is the oil system. I want to make sure that that is working 100%, and I did notice a water leak at the bottom. I'm going to have to fix that. I've got the SABC News, the national news for South Africa, coming on Tuesday. I've got two of these cameras and I've got a little monitor screen that's going on the inside of the cab.
I believe in a few things. I believe in you and I. Yes, I believe in your words of hope. And that all will one day be as one. Yes, I believe in a few things. Oh, I believe in your freedom. Oh, I believe in love and hope, and that all will one day be as one. Oh, do you smile? Yeah, yes, even to the smallest little things all around you.
Starting up today, we're a bit behind schedule. The radiators cost us a bit of time. We've taken that in, and that needed a core replacement. Radiator World helped us out with a big discount on that. Yolandi is going to be flappering down the spare rim that we bought at a scrapyard and then prime it and paint it. With the oil side of things, we visited Turbo Performance in Nelspruit. The team really gave us great advice.
I believe in your smile. Yes, I believe in the quality, and that all will one day be as one. Oh.
So this is all of our stuff. I'm going to try take as little weight as I can, but definitely try and prepare for every scenario or any situation. Yolandi drained all of the tanks to make sure that we get all of the old gunky oil out, because it's been standing for more than a year. So we thought rather drain the tanks and flush the whole system with diesel. So we've done that, and this is all stage 1 filtered oil. So that just means the big particles are out, and that's going to go into the tank as soon as we've weighed in at the weighbridge. The radiator's coming on Monday. They're going to recall the original radiator at Radiator World, and we'll be able to film that too. And then we started working on the rear view cameras. We've got one up there, mounted behind the spotlights, and that looks up at the top roof rack so that we can see if we can pass underneath any low hanging branches. Then the other one we've got is the rear view camera right at the back, and it looks like that. And the idea behind this is the camera mounts inside of that on top of the windshield. We can see past the gazebos. Then Yolanda installed our rear view monitor for us, and that's going to connect to the two cameras, and that can swivel around. Quite a simple solution. She basically just put it on the rear view mirror. We also gave the truck a full service. Yolanda's even gone so far to actually pay the VAT on this bill for us, so thank you very much, Yolanda. Which is a 1,500 rand.
1,700.
1,700, which is 1,725 rand for the VAT. So it's coming out of her pocket, so thank you very much. Here with Patrick at Radiator World Lowveld, and we're going to start with the radiator now. He's going to remove the original radiator casing and then replace it with the new core. There is our basically brand new radiator. So while I fill the water in the new radiator, Yolanda is going to breathe the water system that heats up the oil at the bottom there to make sure that we get water all around the system. Then we're going to drain everything out after running the truck for a while, just to clean out all the gunk that is left in the lines, and then reconnect the pipe and refill it with coolant. Right, so we're taking the truck in for official weigh-in today. We had a couple of issues with the front lights. They didn't really have the original fittings in them, also not the right lobes, so they were not working very well. And Pug's just arrived here with number one, a very important sensor. It's the brake sender unit that we need to actually turn the lights off at the back when you're pushing in the brake pedal. And he also arrived here with some brand new front lights.
Okay.
Nice. Yeah.
Right.
That's awesome.
Fantastic.
the last morning. It's been 4 years and a couple of months or so. I'm going to finish off today with putting up a little mounting bracket for the steps. Basically just going to be 2 pieces of the same channel that we built this out of. It's going to be mounted one on either side so that pick up the steps and slot it in place, pick it up and lock it on the one side. Yolandi is busy packing everything back into the truck. We had to lose the extra weight we had packed into the truck to go to the weighbridge, and we weighed in at 9.240 tons. We should weigh around 11 tons when everything is on the truck, so that means that we're still 4 tons underneath the GVM max load of the truck. And then tomorrow head off the farm, first long test run on oil towards Skumanskloof. There's a nice off-grid campsite that we've been offered a place to stay at for free for 2 nights, just to dip our toes into the camping with Bets. Then the plan is to go back to Nelspruit on the Monday morning and get all of the final documentation done, such as my PDP, which is a professional driver's license, the truck's papers, and also Henny from Lalapanzi is making us a cover that fits on the back of the truck, and he actually needs the truck there to make the final adjustments to the cover. Alright, a very good morning. It's our last day on the farm. We're going to make our way towards Skumanskloof. There's a wild camp called Nomad's Rest, and they've offered us a place to stay for free for the next 2 evenings. It's a good opportunity to test Betsy on the oil for the first run. That's more than just around the block. Yeah, just have a couple of days to relax before we head back to Nelspruit and do our final paperwork. By Wednesday, it's Friday today, we should get on the road towards Swaziland.
This is Robin and Yolandi leaving the farm since COVID started. Pretty fine looking truck. Bye bye guys! Cheers, cheers bud!
We've done the first, I would say, about 50 kilometers of our journey on the cooking oil. We're at a filling station. She's driving very well, and the rack seems to have held up on the gravel road. We're set up in a very nice spot and we've got the river next to us and the mountain in the background. And it's been our first morning that we could really relax. Yeah, and it's definitely been worth the work. Feeling absolutely awesome. We're just about to get ready with the matches on the map project. Monday we'll be back in Nelspruit at a campground there, trying to get our final things sorted out. We got a really cool gift in the mail the other day. Amy sent us a hammock that actually matches the color scheme of the truck. It's made from 100% recycled material. Let's check it out. So today we're off to our last hike on the Nomad's Rest Camp. The host, Daniel, is going to take us through. Yolandi's busy prepping a cup of coffee now. Currently we're going up to the ridge of this mountain. When we get back, we'll probably start packing up and head back to Nelspruit. Henny from Lalapanzi is going to be sorting us out with a cover for the back rack. Keep it out of the rain and also out of wanting eyes. It's a gorgeous view so far. We haven't been up close to the top yet. He's really done a good job at making this little hiking trail. Something amazing.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, this is nice. We are back in Nelspruit after a wonderful weekend at Nomad's Rest Camp. We've just booked into a normal campsite. It looks like there's more permanent residents staying here. It gave us an opportunity to charge up with the power and then also just to discard our toilet cartridge and all that. But you'll notice I've got my work clothes on. We picked up a small issue with the oil system. I think that one of the filters are clogged up. Going up inclines, the truck lost a lot of power and we had to quickly switch over to diesel. Preparing now to go through to Turbo Foreman's in Nelspruit. They've got a range of filters. We also have a journalist crew coming through from a news team from Vietnam, which is quite interesting. I've just gotten to Turbo Foreman's in Nelspruit. Nick here has given me some great suggestions on the filtration side of the diesel and the oil. They've suggested a water trap Parker Raycor filter. This is the filter that I think is clogged up inside here, that one over there. I'm going to take that one out, see if we can install their very nice filtration system. So one thing is, we both agree that that little water separator that I installed probably about a year ago, that's not going to do a fine job at actually separating any water. So we're going to want to remove that. Also a hydraulic oil filter, which is the big white one that's in at the back of the engine bay there. Maybe to replace that with one of these. This will combine the two basically. It's a water separator as well as a cool filter. That gets a little bowl like that, so that you can just drain the water out underneath the filter. Do you refer to this as a head or a mount?
So this is a head. Head element bowl. In terms of rake oil, they separate water at a 99% efficiency, loose and suspended. This is quite important for priming.
Give them one of these.
I'll give them one. You're welcome to stay the evening if you guys want to.
Nick and them have made us an awesome offer. They're actually going to sponsor all of the filters for us.
On the diesel side, we've advised putting in a B120 TSA element. We're going 10 micron on this side because that's definitely ideal. It also has a primer, so it's easy to fill up and prime when you're servicing. One thing that's also quite nice is our polypropylene O-rings, which float on water and sink in diesel or oil. So that will start to level out. We've also supplied a heating element that goes into the bowl on the diesel side. In the colder climates, your diesel can start to solidify at about 7 degrees and under 7 degrees, so that will come in handy when you guys are in Europe. Restriction gauges, so these will indicate when the filters need to be serviced and changed. Another smaller filter, it's an inline filter that goes between the first oil tank and the second oil tank, and this is a 250 micron. It's easy to detach and to clean, and you don't need to replace it, you can just clean it when you need to. On your pleasure.
There's no space inside of the engine bay. I was looking around and found a sweet spot behind the gas. This is probably the only space that I've got available still. That'll be easy to drain the water. The filter installed underneath the box over there. Then the next step is to replace this hydraulic oil filter as well as our little water trap there with this whole unit. It's the morning of the 30th of August. It's actually my 31st birthday. So yay, happy birthday me. We spent the night in the Turboformance parking lot. They were very nice about it and let us sleep here. I'm going to try and bleed through the diesel lines. Yolandi is going to jump on the sewing machine to try and make us some extra bucks. That sustains us with handmade products. Hopefully by around midday today we'll be done with the filter side of things, and then move over to Henny from Lalapanti, who's making us a custom cover for all of the things that go on the back rack. So we got the new filters in. We ran into another problem. None of the oil was bleeding through. Followed it down to the tank, and this tank is full and there's nothing coming out the tank, so we figure there's obviously a blockage up there. So we've got a very interesting place that we are boondocking tonight. We've got the local taxi rank behind us, also a coffin factory next to us. We slept surprisingly well last night, so we had a bit of a party going on right next to us, which wasn't too bad. At least they played good music. But yeah, we slept fine. They're going to start fisting on this rack. Cutting out the fabric for the cover, and that's from ripstop, so that means if it gets a tear, the tear doesn't keep running. By total coincidence, I met Prince over here. Oh, there we go. Prince was interested in what we do and felt inspired to actually sign up as a stem cell donor. So we can sign him up now. Emmanuel's got like the foundation ready. What he's going to do now is shape it. We're nearing the end of the day and I don't think that we'll be able to finish up. So we're going to stay over for another night. So we had a pretty good sleep last night. Had a bit of music jamming. So that was lekker, right next door. It's just before 7 in the morning. I'm gonna prep. I've got 2 bolts holding up the lift in place so that it's not taut on the cable, because then it will jump up and down. I'm also gonna be putting in little hooks in the center of this beam, bungee cord straps to hook onto the hooks. We don't really want to obviously cover up this warning strips. So getting quite interesting now. Emmanuel cut in 2 little slits where the cable for the winch can actually pass through. And those are going to close up with patches of Velcro. So last night we spent next to a taxi rank and a Kaufman factory. Today it's a lot better. We're spoiled with like a nature vibe, lots of bird life. Right, so I'm quite lucky today. I've got a whole team of guys working on Betsy. I've got Hannes up at the top, Tian over here, and Monet busy with one of the very small little finishings that we needed to do. There's a little cable hanging out there.
Kabel het so na sy tak hier verbykom en gaan hy hom afhaal.
Today we've popped off at For Keepsakes. They're going to be putting up our last sponsorship stickers for Nail Strategies. Right, so today myself and Yolandi up early. We boondocked last night in a parking lot, which was quite exciting. Then got up early this morning to be at the licensing department to do the final application for the professionals driver's permit. We just arrived at Tom Ace's place. He's given us a spot for the night to camp out. Sorry, I'm a bit sick. We finally got our PDP this morning, or my PDP, so very happy about that. Yeah, we even got some company. So good news is yesterday we heard that our paper's cleared for Betsy, but the bad news is that it is 26,000 Rand to get on the road. We're gonna try and get on the road by tomorrow. It's World Marrow Donor Day, and I've just stopped over at Radio Laafeld to try and do a little bit of promoting on the project, try and get in some funds for the paperwork. Yeah, definitely don't have 26,000 Rand lying around, so we hope that the radio interview will help.